Yeah, he caught me with a good shot. That's what you get when you mess around.
He's looking for going forward. There it is, there, right hand.
And then he messed around and found out as well.
Runs, and it's Cooper who's backed away to the corner, and Cooper is.
They were seconds from defeat, dropped, hurt, written off. But then, something changed. They stood up, they bit down, and with one brutal swing, they turned disaster into domination. This is from knockdown to knockout. Welcome back to Fight Story.
I'm bigger man. I ban you. No dealing.
All I've got to do to answer your question is connect with a right hand or left hook, and the fight's going to be over. It's as simple as that.
Carl Froch was the battle-tested champion. 36 years old, WBA and IBF belts around his waist. He'd gone 12 brutal rounds with Mikkel Kessler just months earlier, and walked away with redemption and another title. But many believe Froch was nearing the twilight of an illustrious career. He was dancing on a celebrity show with his wife, and some wondered if he'd taken his eyes off the ring. George Groves was the undefeated young gun, just 25, sharp, fast, and unbothered by reputation.
You're gonna cry? You're gonna cry, aren't you? Don't cry. I can hear your voice breaking. What's that? Come on now.
Johnny, you were saying.
What?
Sorry, excuse. I
gonna
apologise
cry?
on George's behalf. Carry on, mate.
Oh my, he's gonna cry. Adam, is he gonna cry? Are you okay?
What's happening right
Are you
now?
alright?
And from the opening bell, he backed it up. Just 2 minutes into round one, Groves landed a right hand that detonated on Froch's jaw. The champion hit the canvas.
For only the second time.
What a shock!
Groves didn't let up. For 7 rounds, he boxed beautifully. Fast hands, smart movement, clean counters. He wasn't just winning, he was dominating.
Right hand, following.
When you're leading. Oh, terrific!
Absolutely terrific again from Groves.
Oh, it's a terrific shot. There's more, another one, and 3 more. And this is big stuff from George Groves.
But Froch wasn't done. In round 9, the tide turned. The veteran pressed forward, fists flying, landing a brutal flurry that staggered Groves. And then, controversy. Referee Howard Foster jumped in. Groves was hurt, but still standing, still swinging. The crowd erupted. Groves protested. The young challenger had dropped the champ, controlled the fight, but in the end, he didn't get the chance to finish it. The rematch was inevitable. But in Manchester that night, Froch went from nearly dethroned to comeback king.
Do you actually agree with that stoppage or not?
No.
You think it should have gone on?
I think, yeah, should have gone on. I think Howard had made a little mistake there.
I haven't brought you here just to roast you, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't.
Because you've had a good go.
I don't think I've seen Rachel since, well, ever, really. And she said, oh, thanks for coming up. And he was definitely robbed in that first fight. And I was like, fuck.
You never said that. Rachel?
I'm bigger man. I ban you. No dealing.
Zhilei Zhang had just destroyed Deontay Wilder, a 5th-round demolition that sent shockwaves through the heavyweight division. At 41, Big Bang was riding the biggest momentum of his career, and now he had a shot at the WBC interim title. Across from him stood Agit Kabayel, undefeated, underrated, unfazed. The German had quietly racked up wins, including a dominant stoppage over Arslanbek Makhmudov. But this was different. Zhang was supposed to be too powerful, too big, too much.
He said, you bang me, Saturday I bang you. No, did he?
The fight started with Zhang doing what Zhang does. Heavy hands and forward pressure.
Beautiful. Lovely right in there from Zhang. Oh, left hand of Zhilei Zhang. Even at 41, look at this.
But Kabayel stayed calm. He didn't panic. He didn't trade. He went to work, ripping body shots round after round. They didn't look flashy, but they were surgical.
He's making them work. Zhilei Zhang, who weighed in at 200.
By round 4, the tide had turned. Zhang's engine started to sputter. Still, Zhang had power. In round 5, he caught Kabayel with a 3-punch combo. It looked like the fight had flipped again. But Kabayel got up, and in round 6, he flipped the script for good. He walked Zhang down, crowding the giant. Then, boom, a liver shot that stopped time. Zhang crumbled. Agit Kabayel had just turned the heavyweight division on its head. Knocked down, but not broken. He came back to stop the man no one expected him to beat.
He said to you that he's gonna bang you, and you said, I'm gonna bang him. You both banged each other twice.
Yeah.
He banged you, you banged him back.
Yeah, of course.
And you finished him.
Yeah, you know, he banged me, I banged him, and then finish him.
So your bang was the best.
Yeah, my bang was the best.
This was more than a fight. It was a Polish civil war. Artur Szpilka, experience, edge, and a chip on his shoulder. He was trying to revive a fading career in a new weight class, bridgerweight. Across from him stood Łukasz Różański, undefeated, unbothered, and fighting in his hometown. From the opening bell, Szpilka struck first, clipping Różański and sending him down. It looked like the veteran might have too much craft for the brawler. But Różański got up and went on a rampage. He walked Szpilka down, swinging with bad intentions. A thunderous right hand dropped Szpilka hard. He got up, only to go down again. And again, 3 knockdowns, 1 round. Różański didn't just win. He bulldozed a former world title challenger in under 3 minutes. Unfortunately for Szpilka, he never boxed again. 1 final war, 1 brutal round, and the fight game said goodbye without asking.
Essuman and Cooper, what an unbelievable fight. This is Fight of the Year material all over it, no doubt about it. One of the British fights of the year.
Ekow Essuman was the seasoned contender, a former British and Commonwealth champion with experience in deep waters. But this night, he wasn't just fighting to stay relevant, he was fighting off a takeover. Across the ring stood Owen Cooper, young, fast, undefeated, and hungry to make a name off the back of a man who'd already built one. From the start, it was a firefight. Cooper boxed sharp, crisp jabs, quick angles. Essuman looked to close the distance, get physical, test the young man's composure. The rounds flew by, close and competitive.
And he goes back about his own business. Time for that attack from Cooper.
And he comes forward, but that's a big shot.
Then late in the 9th, it happened. Cooper timed a shot perfectly. Essuman hit the deck. It was a statement. The momentum had swung. But champions don't fold, they reload. As the 10th began, Essuman came out with fire in his veins.
Now Essuman responds, and it's Cooper who's backed away to the corner, and Cooper is...
The young prospect crumbled. Just 23 seconds into the final round, it was over. From nearly finished to a finishing blow. Ekow Essuman reminded everyone that experience isn't just a number. It's knowing how to survive and knowing exactly when to end it.
Yeah, he caught me with a good shot. That's what you get when you mess around. And then he messed around and found out as well.
Greg Jackson came in as the favorite. Young, rangy, composed. Cornelius Whitlock came in with a point to prove and some moves to show off. Early on, Jackson stayed sharp behind his jab, keeping the fight at his range. But in round 2, Whitlock turned heads. He landed a big right hand that dropped Jackson to the canvas. Then, he danced, arms out, grinning, putting on a show like the fight was already over. It wasn't. Jackson got up, embarrassed maybe, but more importantly, focused. In the 3rd, Jackson returned the favor with interest. He backed Whitlock into a corner, unloaded with a clean, relentless flurry. And the ref had seen enough. TKO. Whitlock danced first, but Jackson danced last. And his footwork, much better choreography.
Well, right now that dancing, I don't know about that, but before the dancing, behave the way that you want a fighter to behave.
I said from my first fight, the only chance you guys have got of beating me is now, earlier on, but it's slipping away from you guys. Give it another 2-3 fights, I'm going to be unbeatable.
At 6-0 with 6 knockouts, David Haye was a wrecking ball. Fast, flashy, powerful. And that night in Reading, he was expected to roll through another opponent. Lolenga didn't get the memo.
I just can't help but get carried away with this kid. He's got such quick hands and he carries such power.
Haye started sharp. In the opening round, he clipped Mock clean with a right hand and dropped him. Business as usual.
Stopped in 28 professional contests.
But the second round told a different story. Mock, tough, experienced, and fearless, found a home for his right hand. It landed flush on Haye's temple. The prospect stumbled, then hit the canvas. For the first time in his career, David Haye had been knocked down.
In the making, David Haye is up, has threatened to dethrone the golden boy of British boxing, and Haye has to hold on.
Haye steadied himself in the third. No more recklessness. He used his reach, moved his feet, reset. Then in the fourth, he struck back. A clean uppercut, a flurry. Mock hit the canvas again. David Haye had his seventh win, but it wasn't dominance. It was a wake-up call. He got dropped. He got tested, and he learned that even a wrecking ball can wobble.
But it shows that I can be knocked down and I probably can be knocked out. So all the cruiserweights, British cruiserweights, so instead of running scared, come and get me, this guy can knock me down, sure these guys can.
They called him Beck the Bully, an Olympic silver medalist, undefeated, vicious. Bektemir Melikuziev wasn't just expected to beat Gabriel Rosado. He was expected to destroy him. Rosado was 3-5 in his last 8 fights. The veteran from Philly was supposed to be a stepping stone. Too old, too worn, too late. And early on, it looked like the odds makers were right. Late in the first, Melikuziev dug a left to the body that dropped Rosado to a knee. A grimace, a breath, a count. Rosado got up, but he was already behind. The second round brought more pressure, more leather. Beck stalked forward, throwing heavy shots with bad intentions. Then it happened. In the third, Melikuziev lunged forward, overextending. A perfect overhand right, short, compact, clean. The bully dropped face first, out cold. Just like that, the script flipped, from knockdown to knockout. Gabriel Rosado wasn't supposed to win. But in El Paso that night, he reminded everyone that experience, grit, and timing still matter.
Wherever he goes, they do. You know, I mean, he's full of excitement, isn't he? He's one of the most exciting fighters around at the moment, and he's getting better and better. And as you say, we learned a few things about him tonight.
Amir Khan was the future, an Olympic silver medalist with blazing speed and a perfect 17-0 record. At just 21 years old, he was already being groomed for world titles. Michael Gomez? He was supposed to be a footnote, but Gomez had other plans. From the opening bell, Khan put on a masterclass. Fast jabs, crisp combinations. And halfway through the first, a right hand dropped Gomez hard. The script was playing out exactly as expected. Except, Gomez didn't quit. He got up, he bit down, and he fought. In the second round, the veteran stunned Khan with a counter right hand. It wasn't just a punch, it was a message. The fight turned scrappy, wild. Khan's speed clashed with Gomez's pressure. But the younger man stayed composed, adjusted, and began to break Gomez down piece by piece.
Now starting to get on top. There's nothing coming back from Gomez.
In the fifth, Khan dug a blistering shot to the body, and that spelled the beginning of the end.
The body shot has taken Gomez down. Second knockdown beats Michael Gomez. Oh, good uppercut from Khan.
The final burst pinned Gomez to the ropes and sealed it with speed. Gomez was game, but his body was giving out. Amir Khan had passed a different kind of test. He'd been clipped, challenged, dragged into a dogfight, and still came out on top.
One of the toughest fights. I'll making stupid mistakes, and I learn from them mistakes. I'm going to learn from them. I'm going to go back home, work on watch the video, and work with Dean on them, and then carry on my journey towards the world title.
After a long layoff, the Viking warrior returned home. Mikkel Kessler, once one of the most feared men at super middleweight, was now stepping into a new division, chasing a new crown. But he wasn't easing in. He was facing Allan Green, heavy-handed, unpredictable, and dangerous from the first bell. And sure enough, danger showed up early. Midway through the opening frame, Green launched a missile of a right hand. Kessler never saw it. His legs gave out. He hit the deck, but Kessler didn't panic. He got up, shook it off, and then he went to work.
Kessler никогда не проигрывал нокаутом, а прилетело.
The comeback started with patience. A jab here, a tight guard there. Then he began walking Green down, testing him, touching the body, chipping away. Just seconds into the fourth, Kessler stepped in with a monstrous left hook, clean on the chin. Green crumbled like scaffolding. No count needed. The Viking was back, dropped early, but never out. Mikkel Kessler roared back to life, and did it the way champions do, by closing the show.
Don't shake. I see your lips. He's shaking. You see how you're shaking? You will shake more inside the ring with me. I'm willing to die to win. You have never met someone like me, and you will see.
Florian Marku walked in undefeated and loud. The Albanian southpaw had promised a knockout, and with a trail of stoppages behind him, few doubted he could deliver. Rylan Charlton was meant to be another name on the list, but the pint-sized powerhouse didn't come to play the role. He came to fight.
I'm going to beat you up and take you some respect.
Let's see. With this hair, you can never beat me.
From the opening bell, it was tense. Marku boxed sharp, slick counters, tight defense. Charlton kept marching forward, relentless, looking to make it ugly.
Really won the exchanges fairly comfortably, I'd say.
But the thing about Marku, as big as he was a shot.
A big dip there, and finally he does make a dent on Charlton, and Charlton's got to just try and survive.
And then, in round 6, the upset alarm sounded. Charlton landed a looping shot that caught Marku flush. The favorite hit the deck. It was the first knockdown of his career, and suddenly all the swagger disappeared, replaced by something far more dangerous: focus. He turned the tables in the 7th, pinning Charlton down, slipping shots, landing clean. Then in the 8th, it ended. Marku let loose a punishing barrage. Charlton's legs buckled. His corner saw it and threw in the towel. From dropped to dominant. Florian Marku didn't just survive. He responded like a real contender.
It was not a knockdown, I swear it was going like
yes,
this.
Yes, it was a knockdown.
Evander Holyfield knocked him down, and you yourself say Holyfield's no puncher, and he landed more than half of his shots as he's done before against Bowe. Isn't Bowe too easy to hit?
This was it, the final chapter. Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield had already shared 24 brutal rounds together. Each had taken a win. Each had proven he could beat the other.
Somebody in a parachute has just landed on the edge of the ring.
Now, in the desert heat of Las Vegas, they met for the third and final time, not for a belt, but for legacy. Bowe was bigger, stronger, the WBO champion. But this one wasn't about titles. Holyfield, he was coming off hard issues, a brief retirement, and a win over Ray Mercer. They said he was done. He didn't care. The fight started fast, both men going to war. Holyfield, undersized as always, stepped into the fire, throwing with bad intentions.
Right hand by Bowe, Holyfield. Hard right hand by Holyfield.
Bowe answered with bombs of his own. Neither man backed down.
Bigger guy, and he shouldn't let this guy weigh him down with that extra weight. So this is not good tactics on his behalf. But he
effective moving in and out in the second bout is now staying inside. The uppercut medicine for Riddick.
I thought he really hurt Evander with a right hand in the 4th round.
Then came the 6th. Holyfield, weathered and wilting, dug deep and found magic. A clean left hook dropped Bowe, the first knockdown of Bowe's entire career.
Hey, not getting up. How can you ever count this man out?
But Bowe got up, and then he reminded everyone why he was one of the most dangerous heavyweights alive.
And finding some of the snap in their punches in this last minute of round 7.
In round 8, Bowe flipped the script. He hurt Holyfield bad, then dropped him once.
A right hand by Bowe. A right hand inside as Holyfield lunged to get back at him. 7 did the trick. I don't think he's going to make it.
9. No, he made it.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Take us forward.
And then again. Referee Joe Cortez waved it off. For the first time in his career, Evander Holyfield had been stopped. Riddick Bowe, knocked down, tested on the brink, came back to close the trilogy with a knockout.
Riddick, what's on your mind at this moment with this man?
I want to thank this great champion because without him it wouldn't be possible. He gave me all the inspiration in the world, and I love you, man. Anybody got a bud for him?
You know, speaking of inspiration,